Welcome to the North American Star League. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here.
I never knew that when StarCraft 2 would come out that we would have anywhere near this big of a scene internationally.
$50,000 will be awarded to someone that is such a staggering number.
This is not just a game, it's an all-out war.
40 of the world's top players all competing for the title of NASL champion. Welcome to season number 2.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with game number 1. It'll be alternate attack Socke against Mouse Mana. This is going to be an excellent PvP. Both these players heading over to our first map, Antiga Shipyard.
Yeah, this should be a pretty good starting map for these players. You know, this is a longer rush distance than a lot of maps that are in the map pool, but this is PvP, and with warp gates, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're not going to see, you know, a standard 4-gate or some kind of 3-gate expand or something like that.
Yeah, and I was looking back at the players. Socke, well, you know, PvP has definitely evolved since the 1.4 patch.
Definitely.
I wouldn't necessarily say, well, yeah, okay, I would say evolved. That is a good word. It's definitely changed for the better, in my opinion. But
I agree.
Socke, you know, he's a PvP player that kind of goes for sort of expansion-based openings. I've seen a lot of expansion-based openings coming out from him in the regular season of NASL. He does mix in a couple of pressure builds, but usually I see him taking, you know, whether it be a 2-gate expansion, which sounds crazy, but 2-gate expansions on Antiga Shipyard, he gets sentries out, force fields off the ramp. I've seen 3-gate expansions from him, things like that. Whereas Mana, on the other hand, he plays a very, very sound style of PvP. He goes for the, you know, 3-gate Robo, I see a lot of time, or 3-gate Twilight Council. Some sort of standard play where it's not too crazy.
Yeah, we see a lot from Mana where he tries covering all his bases. You know, he doesn't leave any holes in his play. He doesn't like taking risks, so he loves getting that observer out. He doesn't like, you know, losing to a DT when he doesn't have to, for example.
Exactly.
But the question is how is the styles going to clash? Because both players do have different styles of play, and we do see that the first gateway is going down. We do see that the chrono boosts are continuing non-stop for both players so far.
Yep, a little bit different. Socke went for the 13 gateway, Mana went for the 12 gateway. It just means that the economy will go to Socke for the beginning part, just because Socke allocated the chrono boost slightly earlier, gets his probe out slightly earlier. Not a big deal, though, when it comes down to the grand scheme of things. You know, in terms of styles, like you were talking about before, I think Socke is going to be a little bit with the advantage, just because going a macro style, like a really, really heavy macro style build against a player like Mana, I think is the correct choice, because Mana isn't really known for being a player that is overly aggressive in that early game stage. So if you can play defensive and just hold off any standard play, you'll be in a great position if you do choose to go for an economy build.
You know, this actually reminds me of the Mana versus Axlav series, where Axlav did a fast expansion more type of play where he had a huge advantage, but because Mana just played so much more solid, even though he was behind, he made the comeback to where he had more army, he had more economy than his opponent, and that might be how he likes to play. He just likes playing very safe. And we're just going to have to see what he has up his sleeve this game.
Definitely, and I'm actually thinking back to that. That was a crazy game where Axlev went Phoenixes, Mass Phoenix, double Stargate. Gosh, you have a very good memory, EGLzGaMeR.
Thank you.
But yeah, hopefully we see something like that. You know, as you said, Axlav, he took the quick expansion, did kind of an economically greedy build, and it paid off for him. I mean, he was definitively ahead in that game, but as you said, Mana is just such a tight, strong player. I think it's going to be hard if to muster up, you know, enough to beat him. We can already see that. Oh my God, is he going for a delayed 4-gate? Yes, he is. And this is very, very interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if, this could catch his opponent really off guard, but we do see Chrono Boost going down on the gateways for Socke, really pumping out those Stalkers. He is doing a good job with these Stalkers, scouting around the map, making sure there's no hidden pylons anywhere in his base or anything like that. What is your thoughts on a delayed 4-gate, though, in PvP?
Actually, I'm wrong. It is a regular 4-gate. I thought it was a delayed 4-gate because normally you put, when you do a regular when you do a delayed 4-gate, you stagger the gateways like this. I think he just staggered the gateways just because he was optimizing. Normally you put them all down at the same time, so I just assumed. It is a regular 4-gate, and I think it's actually pretty bad if your opponent goes sentries. And he did see, let me go ahead and look at the mana cam, he did see double assimilators, so I would assume that he needs to be a little bit scared since sentries could be out at any time. And there
huge Stalker pick by the 3 Stalkers from Socke, but now he's going to be returning the favor. Mana's going to kill that 1 Stalker. It does go down, and there is so many units here for Mana. Offensive pylon going down. He's going to be able to try to warp in the top if he can get vision up there. Going to need some perfect force fields here from Socke to hold this.
Yeah, and this is a very interesting pylon placement. Does Socke actually see it? Yes, he does. He sees the pylon being made. Now, here's the big problem. If Socke lets any units up, he will give vision for that pylon to warp in units, and that will be catastrophic, that position. And oh, what a shame. Socke will lose a pylon over here. And I like the positioning of Mana's pylon right here. It actually says it tries to draw out units, because right now, Socke is in a position where he wants to kill that pylon, but if he does, he will pull away units from this front, and it'll give opportunity for Mana to just bust up here.
Yeah, and it does look like more and more units from Mana is just piling on, but now the sentry count's getting greater and greater to where he might be able to just have an unlimited force field. Oh, but 1 Zealot does actually get up here, but the pylon looks like it's going to go down before it can get too much damage. That Zealot is stuck, but he is giving vision to all the other Stalkers from Mana. So the question is he going to be able to get enough damage? More Zealots warping in from Socke to try to defend this Zealot, but a Simulator does go down in the meantime.
Yeah, great defense from Socke, actually. So far, it looks like another force field is placed. He lets 4 Zealots up on top of the ramp. I don't know if this is the best decision. It looks like one of the sentries will be targeted down and killed, and now Stalkers, they might be free to come up here. No, another force field goes down. A Warpin comes in from Socke. Socke is holding off pretty well, but he's losing all of his sentries. I don't know if he's coming out on top. In the meantime, let's look at the income tab. Mana has gone ahead and started probing up, but this whole time Socke has been probing up. He's up to 32 harvesters. He's been probing the whole time. A great job by Socke. I think he's actually coming out very, very strong.
Yeah, if he can hold off this, if he can weather the storm, let's say, then he's going to be way ahead. The first Immortal is about to pop, but he is losing all his sentry, and those sentry are huge gas investments. Here goes the first Immortal, and that is going to probably push Socke Mana back a little bit. But no, he's actually just microing around, picking off more and more units. The Zealots are coming in. The Immortal's targeting the Zealot. That is a mistake. He needs to stay on those Stalkers. But the Immortal is going to go down in the meantime.
The Warpin from this 1 pylon is just doing way too much. It was able to segment off the Stalkers, and then the Immortal went and isolated itself. Now another Warpin from Socke is coming in right here, and it looks like it will be too much because more units are just streaming in for Mana. He has the better count. He has the 3 Stalkers in the back here, and these Zealots are so hard to deal with. Immortals are not good at killing Zealots, and at this point, oh my gosh, I think... will Socke be able to hold this off? I don't think so. There's just too many Zealots. The probe count is just diminishing so fast, and still these Stalkers stay alive.
Yeah, in the meantime, we must have missed a counterattack Zealot that also killed some probes, but there's the GG from Socke.